Hello, guys. This is a podcast with Priya, who cracked UPSC Civil Services examination this year with 232nd rank, and her optional is sociology. And in her very first mains itself, she scored 274 in sociology, and she is part of our sociology companion program for the last couple of years. And one of our favorite student, and you'll understand that throughout this conversation. And what happened in the initial attempt, why she couldn't clear prelims, and what happened, everything she did in one go in this attempt. All these will be discussed in this video. So it's a very good video, very important video, a lot of lesson to learn. But before we start this, I want you to think about this for a minute. See, if you are someone who's in this situation, you are preparing, you are giving all the hard work, putting all the effort and years of effort, but still you are not able to clear that prelims, not just once, not twice, not thrice, four times you are not able to clear that first stage of the examination. Then what you will do? Will you continue or will you give up? So this story, in fact, there's a reality. That is what you're going to see now, right? That is about that one courageous attempt. In fact, it only take one real attempt. So we are going to speak to Priya. She could not clear prelims in her first four attempt, and she was a working professional full time alongside the preparation. So you have to go to the work also, and full time work also, and then you need to prepare also. And of course, like anyone face self-doubt at one point when you're not clearing the exam, and then the pressure and also judgment. And still, in her fifth attempt, she cleared prelims, she cleared mains and interview all in one go and secured a very good rank of 232. So if you look at it, this is not just a success. It's not just, I won't treat it as a success story. In fact, this is a complete transformation. What happened in the first four attempts and what happened in the fifth attempt is like a massive transformation, because she finally understood. In fact, we sit together and then we discussed also and made some changes in the preparation. So what she realized and what she changes actually, in fact, before she was not analyzing the previous year question paper. So we asked her to analyze the previous year question papers, understand the themes, and prepare accordingly. One thing that she did. And she was following multiple resources without direction or revision. So we changed that. We stick to certain materials and proper revision, strong revision. And then main problem was with lack of problem solving when it comes to MCQs. That experience is something which is required. That also we sorted out. So everything then becomes structured, followed limited resources, strong revision, multiple revision, focus on previous year questions and mock based learning. Through the question papers, you learn, because you have learned a lot for the last 4 or 5 years. Your problem is that question solving aptitude is missing. So maximum questions you will solve. Through that also you will do the revision. So that way she scored, in fact, solved almost 100 plus question papers, more like 10,000 questions. And there was a clear plan for prelims, mains, and interview, and all together, went in this attempt. And of course, in fact, sociology also she did really well, despite the preparation of sociology started after prelims. So she was able to cover the subject in a very short span of time, and beautiful sociological answers, and the way she used current examples, thinkers, all these will be discussed in this video. And she scored 276 in sociology in her very first mains, and that's something which is a considerable achievement also beyond the rank. So ultimately what you see from this video is it only take one attempt, that one attempt, right, where everything goes correct in your favor. So those who are feeling down now, right, so every aspirant, if you feel like you are stuck with prelims again and again and again, or mains, or if you're a working professional with limited resource, limited time, or if you feel that maybe this exam is not for me and you're about to give up, then what Priya have shown is it doesn't matter how many times you fail. It all matters, how much you can come back and how you rise. And what matters is that one attempt where you get everything right. So this is the attempt that she gave where everything went right from prelims to mains to interview. So that's what you also need. So watch this conversation carefully. This might completely change your belief about your own journey. Not talking about your understanding of exam or anything. That definitely will change, but you'll get that motivation also, and you'll get a lot to learn. I can assure you that this is not going to be a waste of time. So 20 minutes, it will be worth it. So let's get started. Hello, Priya. How are you? All good?
So, yeah. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. So, congratulations, first of all. You cracked
Thank
this
you.
exam with 232nd rank. Long time. It's been 5 years, fifth attempt. And sociology also, you did very good. So, what do you feel now?
Sir, I'm feeling relaxed right now because I finally cleared the exam And the very first thing which comes to my mind is it was 4 years and 5 attempts, because the first two attempts happened between a distance of just 6 months, 2021 and 2022. So that I gave unprepared. So finally, I've cleared.
So, Priya, can you tell us about your background, your education, where are you from, and how this UPSC motivation and dream have started, and how you reached till this level?
So, I'm from Patna, Bihar. I've done my initial schooling and college from Patna itself. Then I did company secretaryship course, for which I came to Delhi. And while I was doing internship, I got to know about the civil services. The revenue services officers or the IAS officers, they were the directors in government companies, wherein I was the intern company secretary. So from that, the motivation came that their work is very good, the impact is larger. That attracted me to civil services.
So, basically, this is your fifth attempt, and you have mentioned that you couldn't clear prelims in the first four attempt.
Yes, yes.
So, how is this attempt is different? Because you cleared everything, prelims, mains, interview, and you got a very good rank also, and probably you'll get IPS also. So, what changed in this attempt?
Sir, in this attempt, the first thing that changed was my strategy. Initially, in prelim stage, I was not having a proper strategy of paper solving. So that was the first thing that I changed. Also, this time I was confident that either it's a do or die for me. I will either clear this exam or I will not going to give that last attempt which I have. So this time I did all what I could do. I had planned my mains, I had planned my interview stage, what all this time I'm gonna do for prelims, mains, and interview. So that was clear in my mind. So this was the thing that has worked for me.
Okay, Priya, actually many aspirants struggles with a very basic question. Where do I start with? Even you also struggled in your first four
Yes,
attempts.
yes, sir.
So tell us, how did you structure your preparation, at least, after three attempts, then fourth and fifth?
Sir, first, the very big mistake I did was I couldn't understand the exam, the process of it, and I just delved into it without the proper understanding of exam pattern or the previous year question. I have not seen the PYQs till my third attempt. It was in my third prelims that I did mock tests. I look at the past 10 years question papers. So first two prelims I can't say because that was just pure mistake. But in third means I missed the cutoff by 3 marks. So in that the problem was not I did the statics, all of that, but I was not doing mock tests. So the paper solving that took a lot of time. I could only do one round. So what people can do is they can do their statics very well, just have the basic resources, not more than one or two books. Two is also not done. One book for one static subject and just revise it multiple times. I was not doing this. I was looking at multiple resources here and there. Iski notes, us topper ke notes. Don't go after the topper's note. Just have your notes, small notes, revise it multiple times, solve mocks, look at the PYQs. This is the mantra for prelims from my side, because this has worked for me.
So if I ask you where should someone should start with, it should be previous
It
year
should be
question.
the yes, sir. Previous year question gives you the mapping, like which are the areas from which the UPSC is asking questions, because the UPSC asks questions thematically, and if you are able to identify those themes, you can put more effort while you are reading those themes from your static resources. Looking after the patterns, it gives you that knack that where UPSC is asking, and when you put attention to those topics, UPSC rewards you. So just do the statics thematically and then solve PYQs and mocks.
So, Priya, it's long time. It's almost 5 years into this
Yes, sir.
preparation, and what kind of daily routine you had? Was there any change in the last attempt? Because you have to balance the prelims, mains, and optional, and you cracked all in one go. Also, when you cleared
Yes.
that prelims, that was your major hurdle. You cracked everything in
Yes.
one. So, what
So
was your daily routine?
my daily routine involved my office as well, because I was a working professional throughout this journey. I just took 6 month break in 2022 before my third attempt. After that, I have continued working. So I used to study for 2-3 hours before going to office, because it would usually start around 10. So I had the mornings, and then after office 8 to 9 p.m. I used to sit for again I used to sit for studying. So I had to prioritize things because time was less. So this was my routine. Before going to office, I would read. After coming from office, and then I used to take leaves before exams for 1 week or 2 week. Especially before mains, I took 2 week leave. So this is how I managed. So
So you were a working professional and limited time also. And
yes.
during this entire 5 year preparation, you might have relied upon some core resources, right? Two, three, four
Yes.
core resources you always relied upon. What were they? What are they?
So they were only the basics because I had no connection with the people who were doing UPSC. I was coming from a completely different background. Corporates may you do not see about these things, civil services and all. So I did my research through YouTube, and a lot of toppers they were suggesting these basic book lists. So I choose the one or two books from there. But my core that I decided in my third attempt. So they were the basics only for polity, Lakshmikant, Spectrum for modern history, and I refer to Poonam Dalal Dahiya book for ancient and medieval. So this was the change because earlier I did two, three resources for ancient medieval. So that didn't work for me. So this was for ancient and medieval. For geography, I did NCRTs, sir. So only the basic booklet. This is also available on YouTube if anyone is seriously looking for it. So just one book, the NCRTs for geography and all which I described earlier. And for economy, I relied on foundation classes notes from market or one of the institutes. So these were the basic sources. So.
Priya, the working professionals who are watching this video, in fact, they might have this aspiration, but the time is the issue, right? They have to go for
Yes.
the work, and you are someone who have came through that same scenario. So the same situation you have faced also, and you have told how you managed your time as well. So is it really possible so that the working professionals can do it like the way you did it?
So there is a cost involved because I wasn't able to put all my whole soul, the whole of my day to this preparation because I continued my job. So those who are working, it may take time or it may not also. For you, if for everybody this exam is very different. Their strengths or weaknesses may be different from me. So I believe that it took me more because initially I was not very involved and I was not very committed. I also didn't have the time. So it may take longer attempts, but if you are persisting and if you are continuously evolving, learning from your mistakes and working upon it, then definitely one or maybe more attempts, but definitely you will clear it as I did.
Okay, so when it comes to this preparation, one of the most important decision that you have to take is your selection of your optional. That decides
Yes, sir.
ultimately your rank also. So tell me, why did you choose sociology as the optional?
Sir, despite people telling me not to change my optional because I had commerce and accountancy because of my educational background, but that was not rewarding me. I gave state PCS as well, so there I was not able to have good marks in commerce. So in 2024 October, I decided that our 2025 attempt will be with sociology because sociology was something I started liking while I was reading Society. So I did the sociology foundation notes only, and then I did some mocks, and just that 5 to 6 months only for sociology, and it has rewarded me very well. So because my selection, sociology has played a big role in it.
Okay, but what we have seen is many students they consider sociology as their optional because toppers have chosen sociology as optional, or the syllabus is so very easy or concise. So, what do you think? What was your actual experience when you started dealing with the subject?
So these are consideration, no doubt. Sociology has a very defined syllabus, but there is current aspect in sociology because it's the evolving society that is UPSC asks. So apart from the statics, you have to have these understanding of societal developments like the live-in relationships or the ding families. These are the questions which UPSC is asking in current aspect. But other than that, the thinkers part, if you are once thorough with that, you can solve each and every question of sociology with that thinker's aspect. You can apply that. So it's, I felt sociology is very applied sciences. It's like applied sciences only. Because मैंने तो सर बहुत ज़्यादा मेहनत नहीं की, मैं आपको honestly बता रही हूँ. I used to read thinkers while I was commuting in metro. I used to read how Durkheim would think about a particular thing, how Marx will look at some particular event in society. So this is how I used to manage sociology with GS also. I've used a lot of sociological answers for my GS also, and also GS in sociology. So that was my strategy, sir.
Okay. Now, during your sociology preparation, you were also associated with Civil 360 and me for
Yes.
your classes and mentorship. So, how does that made a difference in your preparation?
Sir, the very big difference that was made was I was able to solve, I was able to save time because, as I said, in October I started. So, Civils 360 mentorship gave me that, crux material that I could refer to in very less time because I had started preparing for prelims from Feb. And, sir, as you said, that, Priya, you should revise more and more so that if you are able to clear prelims, you have to clear your mains. So that worked for me. It was concise, crux. The material was good, so that helped. So
And Priya, this is your first mains with sociology as optional, and you scored 276. That's considerably a really good score also. So, what do you think made the difference? How you got that good mark?
sir, I would say I tried to answer the questions sociologically. I have used thinkers, but I've not overdone it. I've used the perspectives that thinkers would look at things. As I said earlier, also, I used to put perspectives from functional perspective, Marxist perspective, or the other new sociologists like the neoliberalists or the different sociological imagination. All of that, I've tried to maximize what I had learned in a very short time. And also, rather than GS terms, I used to write it in sociological terms, how sociology defines something. So that has helped. Also, the third thing was current examples from our current social events, which are very recent. So I believe that has helped. And writing like a first attempter, also I was a first attempter, so maybe that clicked with the examiner.
So Priya, you just mentioned about sociology perspective and analysis and the way you use the thinkers and their approaches also. In fact, if you see some of the topics, it's very confusing. Like, what is this sociological perspective? In fact, the question also write a short note on sociological perspective, right? But
Yes.
how this, when we see poverty, we study in GS also, when we study that in sociology also, or child labor, women empowerment, these are very common topics. So can you take any example and let the audience understand, or the students who are looking to take sociology as the optional, to understand what exactly mean by this sociological perspective and how we see things differently in GS and sociology? Any one example?
Yes, sir, I can. I have read one example in Sociology NCRT, which said that usually we used to think that those who are poor, they are poor because of their economic decisions. But that is not the whole of it. How a sociologist would look at this problem, that those who are poor, they are not just poor because of their economic decisions. They are poor because of the sociologic, because of the society. How the economy is functioning is just a part of it. Other than that, the culture, the different aspects like their educational background, the country, the opportunities that are available in that country, the GDP of that country, how all of these decides what a person is going to choose, what a person is going to work for. So our decisions are not just our decisions, they are shaped by our society. So sociology helps you in understanding those nuances. So this is how I can understand.
Was there any go-to thinker for you for any question? Like, for example, some use Durkheim always, some use conflict perspective, and to be on a safer side, some use Weber. So, and Indian society when it comes to maybe Srinivas, M.N. Srinivas. So, was there any such go-to thinker for you?
Not one particular thinker, but I always used to use three perspectives. The first and my favorite was functional perspective because everything has one or the other function because of it is existing in the society. And the second was the Marxist perspective to the other to show the other side of it. And third was the the new thinkers, those who are looking at the society post-modernism, how things are changing in modern society. So these were the three perspectives I always used to analyze any sociological event, on these three parameters.
How do you incorporate current affairs in sociology? You mentioned about examples, you mentioned about incorporating thinkers. So,
Yes.
how, along with this current affairs, also we incorporate in sociology?
So two, three sources, not more than that. First was the material provided in my mentorship course. Second was the examples I used to collect from newspapers, because I used to Google everything, every new term which had the sociological meaning. I used to chat GPT it, और मैं बहुत सारे AI प्लेटफॉर्म से यूज करी थी, क्लॉड, चैट जीपीटी, बहुत. तो वहां पे आई यूज टू कलेक्ट एग्जाम्पल्स, गुड एग्जाम्पल्स विच आर रेलिवेंट. Third, if any mock test I'm giving, so any particular or unique example which can attract examiner's attention, so collecting from there. Only these two, three sources.
Priya, you have written a lot of answers, sociology answers also, and we have evaluated and we had the discussion also. So, how important is answer writing when it comes to, sociology, and how our mentorship program actually helped you with respect to your answer writing, evaluation, feedback?
Sir, answer writing is very important because it is easy to think a perspective, but it takes time. If you have to, have that muscle memory while you are writing your mains papers. So when you are doing answer writing, what it does is it helps you. You can save time. You can, apply functional perspective to anything. You just have to get that term, and you can think it from functional perspective, or you can think it from conflict perspective. So that is one thing that helps answer writing. And second, it helps you in paper completion. That is very much important to get good marks. And also you get the good examples or the recent examples which are given in mock test answers. And the feedbacks, the feedbacks which you used to give, that was etched in my memory. And while writing answers, I used to, keep things in my mind, that these are my issues and I need to work upon them. So this is how mentorship helped me.
Again, talking about mentorship, is it the evaluation part, or is it the feedback, or is it the direction given, or is it the accountability ultimately matters? Because other things, even the, otherwise also we can get, but accountability is something, if we have, then we will perform much better. We are committed to something and we should be doing that in time. So what does that matter actually out of these, or all the four?
Sir, I would say mentorship is a culmination of all of it. Only you cannot improve more based upon the feedbacks only if it doesn't make any sense to you. And also, accountability comes when the teacher is also accountable and you are also responsive towards your teacher. So all of it combined helps you through mentorship. One of it I cannot particularly pinpoint that feedback was good or the evaluation part. Everything was working in a very synchronized manner. So that was helpful, sir.
Okay, many students, what I've seen is they choose sociology just randomly. So, what should someone seriously think about before they choose sociology as the optional?
Sir, I chose commerce because that was my default choice. So, choosing sociology as a default choice should not be done, because ultimately it is not going to pay you. When I chose sociology, I chose it because I was interested in reading sociology. Nobody was coming to me and saying that you should, Google this term or you should write these answers. I enjoyed sociology. GS part was already done in my previous attempts. I was working on my mains, but this time I have worked more on sociology compared to my GS answers. So that was because of my interest. So people should develop interest in sociology and then choose sociology, and not take it just as a default choice because toppers are taking it or the syllabus is small. If you're not writing good answers, it makes no sense for you.
Okay, Priya, before we conclude, if someone is starting UPSC preparation today, what would be your top three pieces of advice to them? Because you have gone through this for 5 years, five
Yes, sir.
attempts.
So first is come with everything, every possibility in your mind. Everybody thinks that we are going to clear this exam in 1 or 2 attempts. What I have learned is UPSC humbles you, no matter you are a college topper, or because I had rank in my CS exam, so I was very overconfident that I'm going to do this in 1 or 2 attempts. But UPSC humbled me. So come with everything in your mind, be prepared. And when you are giving your first attempt, you should be ready for everything, prelim stage, main stage, interview stage, then give that first attempt. Do not just give attempts after attempts without proper analysis or analyzing your strategy. So third would be, have a proper roadmap in your mind, what optional you're going to take, what resources are you going to refer, what mentors are you having. Just decide these things beforehand, look at the PYQs, understand, gauge your performance, then only start giving attempts. So these are my 3 cents.
Now, for the students who want to choose sociology as their optional, would you recommend us our mentorship?
Yes, sir, definitely. Because for me it worked. So I would say people can look at the resources. And sir, as I said earlier, also, those who are taking sociology, they should look at the material, or they should look at the previous year, and based on that, they should take their decisions. So for me it worked. So I would definitely recommend people to go for it, and hopefully it will work for them also.
Priya, one last question.
Yes, sir.
You couldn't clear prelims in the first 4 attempts. So there will be many who are in your stage now, right? And you cleared everything in the fifth attempt.
Yes,
So
sir.
what will you tell to those people, those students, those aspirants who are struggling to clear the prelims? Maybe they have given 3 attempts or 4 attempts or even 5 attempts also. Someone might be taking the last attempt. So what would
Yes.
you tell them?
Sir, I can summarize this in one line. It only takes one attempt. Don't be bogged down. People will judge you, because I was judged that I was not able to clear even the first stage in my first 4 attempts. But now, after clearing it, their perspective towards me has totally changed from a loser to a winner. The journey, I've seen it all. So I would say it only takes one attempt, one courageous attempt, and you are there. So don't just count your attempts, count the strengths, what all areas where you can work, identify them, work on them, and then just give your attempt with all your heart, and you can do it.
Thank you so much, Priya. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.